welcome to another episode of The Paige Show. I just want to talk about hugging. It's pretty simple. I was so lucky to spend time with some of my loved ones last week. My children were on spring break, and I really, got to have some freedom, some mom time. My mom stepped in and helped take care of her grandbabies, which is never an obligation, really. And who are we kidding? And so I got some me time and some reflection time, something that I'm sure as mamas or caregivers we all can understand. And in that, I just realized, what I've missed the most this past year is hugging people. We've been elbow bumping. Some people wouldn't even get that close, even with a mask on, or we've been high-fiving from afar or pointing at people, all the weird gestures that we would never do before. You just say hi, or you shake a hand, or you hug somebody that you love or that you like, or whatever. And so hugging has been a big thing, and the idea of hugging is actually a pretty deep topic. I'm not going to waste your time on it. There's so much you could read about it, but there are actual scientific studies of how hugging serves us, how holding a baby helps them grow and helps them mature, and hugging for a certain amount of time, a real hug, not just a pat on the back, really helps calm people's energy and can heal things on a deep, deep level, especially if you close your eyes right now and think about the last time you really squeezed somebody that you love, whether it's your kid or your partner, or you finally got to hug that friend that you haven't been able to see for a while, and what that feels like for you, that moment where you just don't want to let someone go and you're hugging them. That's an energy exchange. And so hugging has also proven through that energy exchange that you can give people life, you can give them love through a hug. And it sounds so corny, but I think that if you have been missing it like I have with COVID and all the restrictions, no matter where you lived, there was this understanding that COVID was around. And whether you believed in masks or you didn't, or wherever you were on that, I'm not debating that. We all knew that it was happening. We couldn't deny that there was something happening in the world. And so it really did affect us, whether we wanted it to or not, or if we tried to rebel or not. And there are families that, the grandparents didn't get to see the grandkids for a while, out of worry for the grandparents' health, or whatever your situation may be. Our life hasn't been completely normal. It hasn't really been allowed to be your sense of normal. Who knows what our normal will be now going into this new age of change, right? That COVID kicked off for us. I talk about that in another episode, Age of Change. That would make a lot more sense too if you watch that. But for today's purposes, hugging really went out the window. You thought just shaking hands, you missed that. Well, huggers are really in some, deep issues right now. So I got to hug people last week, and it really just shifted my energy. We're living right now. It's not that COVID has disappeared, but with vaccinations and changes and things, people are loosening up, and restrictions are loosening up. Again, not debating whether that's good or bad, but I will tell you that we have spent a year, whether we have realized it or not, with a lack of energy and connection that we really, really need. Some of us may have felt it was great for a while to go into seclusion and not look funny doing it or be judged. It might have been a nice retreat for you for a while. I had some of that for myself as well. Your schedules went away. That was kind of nice for a while. But then as humans, we're like, something's got to give. We need to be out there. We got to be doing something, right? Hopefully that's how we all feel. We want to contribute, even if it's just to our own life and family. And so the hug for me brought all of that in last week, of the idea of what hugging does for people. I would encourage you guys to look up the science on that. It really is a cool study. You can find some really great articles on that. and start hugging people. You know, if you still have to wear your mask, but start hugging people, because we have gone a year without the connection that we need. And we have buried it with humor, or we have tried to bury it with laughter or denial. That's a huge one that is great to go to in the human experience. But as we all know, we can't keep things buried for long. They always come to light, and we can't live in denial forever. And at some point you wake up and you're realizing, and it's kind of happening now, I see it in a lot of clients, that what we have gone through for the last year really was a deeper disconnect than we realized, and we're realizing it by now being able to reconnect. And so I encourage you with this hug talk to start hugging all the people around you that have been missing their hugs too, and get a good hug in, 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Stand there until it feels awkward and just give them your energy, give them your love, make every hug count, because now we know that hugs could go away, right? We never thought hugs would go away, but we have spent a year with hugs going away. And so get your hug on, hug everyone you can see, be a hug crazy monster, as my kids like to call me. And go get your energy back, go give it back to others, and let's get this party started. Let's get into the party of this new age of change with a better attitude and a better energy, because we're getting what we need and we're giving it back, and it's being recycled through the love we share as it comes back to us through something as simple as a hug.